Happy GST Day. 1st July 2017 to 30th June 2023. Almost 6 years are over. And when we look back in the 6 years, positive side is we have gone long ahead. One nation, one tax was a difficult task, but we've shown the world that this is a simple task for us. Initial teething problems caused lot of hardships, lot of litigation forthcoming now on account of that, but still we have marched a lot ahead. Through artificial intelligence, data analytics, fraud detection system is getting very nicely in place, and that is the reason stricter registration process has been nominated. E-invoicing has been made mandatory, but amendment in e-invoicing which was supposed to come, the provisions that still yet to wait. They have declared but yet to be notified. But say 6 years for the nation for the one tax, if we see the some of important problems yet not been tackled. Hopefully on 11 July there is a GST Council meeting. Fortunately, agenda has not been circulated so far. So object of this video that when we look that nation is progressing ahead, nation is dreaming to be a superpower, then what is required is the economic backbone and economic discipline. Economic litigation, quick litigation and adjudication process. And therefore the need of our is formation of appellate tribunal is the must. Taxpayers are paying heavy taxes, heavy burden of going to the High Court. Coming back, cases are piling. Department started working as a departmental audit, and as department always raises some issues which is no issues, but still there has to be a process of litigation, adjudication. That has to be in play. In 6 years of period, sufficient time has gone for the government officer to be trained. But today also, state government machineries and central government machineries having jurisdiction both over the GST do not match with each other. Procedure for each of them is different, even though tax is the same. That is not acceptable. Even GST, state GST regime is going on the old assessment proceedings, which is no more in the GST. But still, for one litigation, they call for 7 times hearing. Again, do the proceedings. So that has to be stopped. Litigation has to be quick and resolution has to be provided quickly. Most important is CBSE's plan that to check detection and evasion of frauds, evasion of duties. That has to be seamlessly to be done and scrupulously, ruthlessly to be done to the erring taxpayers. But because of that, honest taxpayers should not suffer. Today, on account of that, number of honest taxpayers are suffering. If the success of GST you have to see, then you have to make the process align. Taxpayers has to be respected, and they cannot be seen in the eyes of as a chore and policeman. That thinking has to stop. Whosoever is the evader has to be done very ruthlessly and immediately prosecuted. Not only the things to be done in this fashion. Officers has to stop threat and coercion. They cannot recover the duties without issuance of show cause notice and without giving the calculation. But today also, DGGI officers are doing that. That is causing hardship to the GST honest taxpayers. What else is required is a rationalization of tax. Today also inverted duty structure. Refund is there because there is an input tax credit. Rates are higher than the output tax credit. Such scenarios should go out. One tax, one nation, one rate. If that comes, except exemption list or 1% tax rate, then perhaps everybody will come in the net. Tax net has to be broader. E-waiver mechanism has to be properly, and all false cases of e-waivers has to be withdrawn suo motu. Because he has paid the tax, but just because of error of the transporters or error of interpretation of the officers, taxpayers should not be harassed. We are looking 7th year as a bright year. We have gone and crossed from nursery to first primary KG to senior KG. Now it is going to higher studies. That is the reason on the 7th year of GST, we look forward. Lot of things to come. Fuel, that is the petroleum products, needs to come in the levy of GST. Cascading effect of taxes absolutely to be avoided. Only the immovable property should be out of the GST. Otherwise, each and everything should come in the net of GST. Then only cascading effect will be there. List of reduction of blockage of inputs should be reduced to minimal. These are the wish list. This is the expectation of the nation. MSMEs are the backbone. Exporters are the backbone. But today also, the EOU exporters, the EOU advance authorization holders are today also debarred for claiming the refund claim by way of paying the duty on the finished goods and getting the quick refund without any cost. Today, if you file refund claim of accumulated input tax credit, there is the transaction cost, high transaction cost and high transaction time, and the dream of avoiding the interface is becoming absolutely wrong. Rather, more interference of the officers and accounting of that high transaction cost is happening. This needs to be stopped. Rule 89, sub-rule 4, sub-rule B, though it was introduced in way back in 18, even today, there is no mechanism on GST net to apply for the refund claim on consumption basis. This is the absolutely tragedy. GSTN and CBIC has to work in hand, and they have to work as quickly as economy is driving fast. This is what we expect on the GST day from honest taxpayers. We are going to be contributors for the national GDP. We are going to build a nation to make a dream of achieving 5 trillion economy, and that is what we need is a good and simple tax.